Good morning, welcome to another video. As you can see behind me, and as the title suggests, I am down the Y today. I've never been to before, particular stretch. So I'm here with my mate Nick today. He's fished it a few times, so he's sort of been showing me around. We've got here, it's about 5 now, something like that. It's a bit of a trek down here, and you have to be a bit of a mountain goat to get down here. If I spin you around, you'll see it's it's been a bit of a mission to get in, but we're in now. What we've got is some shallow water, some rapids, and it dropped off into just some nice smoother water along here. So my plan for the day is to do some trotting. Love to catch some chub on the float, and of course it'd be wonderful to catch some barbel as well. So that's the plan. What I'll do is I'll get the gear sorted out. We'll get it down here somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, but we'll have a sort out. It's rather rocky underfoot, as you can see. But we'll get sorted out, and then we'll run through the gear, baits, etc. Right, let's get cracking. This is the smorgasbord for today. I've got a mixture of pellets, halibut pellets, krill pellets, some cheesy garlic pellets, a range of sizes from, there's the odd 6mm one, but mostly 4mm to sort of 2.3mm in here. What I'm going to do is just keep sprinkling those in, just along the crease there. We've got some faster water in the middle, a bit of a slack on the other side, and a bit steadier water on the inside here. So I'm just planning on fishing across to the crease there between the fast and slow water. Just see how we get on. There's another swim about 20 metres further down, which we can have a go at as well. But obviously if we're baiting in here, that bait's going to be washing down that way anyway, so I always like to start upstream. So anyway, back to the baits. We've got some hemp as well, and I've got some luncheon meat, as you can see. Luncheon meat's for the hook. May put some bits and pieces in of meat, but I'm not a great fan of feeding meat because it doesn't sink very quickly. And I want to get the bait to the bottom because obviously we want to catch some barbel as well as the chub, which I'm sure we'll catch. So that's the plan. Keep sprinkling pellets in, keep sprinkling hemp in, build the swim, and hopefully we'll get some fish. Gear-wise, I have of course got my trusty Dower Tournament Pro 15-foot rod. Fantastic, lovely soft tip. Got some backbone as well. I've landed barbel over £9 with this, so we'll be absolutely fine. All the line, etc., hooks, I'll stick in the description below if you want to go have a look what I'm using. But suffice to say, the main item, aside from the rod and reel, is a Drake dome-topped stick float, aloe stem stick float. This is 4.8 gram. Shotted it with a 4 gram Olivet, so it's going to be sitting quite a lot out of the water because we've got quite a bit of rough water to cope with here. It's not going to be a problem for a barbel or a chub to pull that under, even when it's undershotted. And my reel is my go-to for trotting, my Dower 125M. This is the one supplied by Stuart at Artisan Angling. He sent me a new reel, and I'm christening it on the Y today. Absolutely fantastic. I love these reels, love them for trotting. Stuart builds these. He can recondition yours. He can sell you one he's reconditioned, or he's having all the parts made now, so you can actually build a brand new one effectively off him. So I'll link in up there and down in the description if you want to go and see Stuart's website. He runs all his sales off his website these days. So yeah, if you want to go and have a look at that, I love them. Absolutely fantastic. Not designed for trotting for barbel, but they do a great job. Right, that's probably enough waffle, isn't it? We'll keep trickling this bait in and we'll have a crack. Now, I've no idea how deep it is here, but I'm guessing it's not very deep. So we'll start off a couple of foot between the Olivet and the float, which is the important measurement. If you want to see how I set this trotting gear up as well, I'll link you to a video up there and down there in the description again of exactly how I set this up. I made a video just run into detail with it, exactly what I do. If you want to go and have a look at that, it's over on the Fishing Tips channel. Right, see how we get on. First cast. How's it going to be? Get a bit of a feel for it, a bit of a feel for what the float's going to do. obviously the depth, etc. Nick's actually just above me at the moment. He's doing a bit of ledgering, I think, in the really fast water. Right, that's nice out there. That's just running through nicely. I'll just hold that back. Nice run down here, actually. That's just run through lovely. We've not pulled under yet, so clearly we're a bit too shallow. Now we've got about 2 foot or so visibility. Good 2 foot, I would say, getting on to for 3 foot. So no problem with the fish seeing the bait coming. Well, something's not quite right at the moment. Not sure what it is. Very, very surprised we've not had a chub snaffling the bait yet. I mean, we haven't been fishing long, don't get me wrong, we've only been fishing about 10 minutes, but usually when you fish this sort of area on the Y this time of year, it's usually pretty good for a bright bite pretty quickly. Usually full of greedy chub. Very strange that I'm not catching on the float and Nick's not catching on the ledger either. Bit worrying. What is going on? Just dragging, I think. Yeah, that was a bite, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a bite. I was going to say that looked like a bite. Well, we're finally getting a little bit of action. I've had a little chub, and now I've just hooked into something a bit better. Just having a chat with Nick. He's on a ledger. He's had 3. This is certainly a chub, in short. It feels a better one. It's been a good half an hour though since we've started. That's a better one, isn't it? Got him. Well guys, there we are. Fortunately, bit in the shade. Keep him over the net. Fantastic. First decent fish of the day. Wonderful. Oh, we'll get him back. Go on, off you go. Cracking. So, 2 chub down. That's good. We had a decent one as well, which is even better. I am very much thinking of going and get my waders, to be honest, and getting out here. That's quite a rocky promontory here. I could do a lot better job, I think, if I was stood out there. It's about a 10-minute walk back to the car though, so it's not it's not to be taken lightly. But so, you know, it's going to be there and back. It's going to be 20 minutes. But I think certainly if we keep getting some bites in here, it'll be worth it. Worth donning the waders. I can get out another probably 10 foot there. I could probably hold the float back properly. So it's a bit of a fiddle doing it from here. So here we are, still in the shade, unfortunately. Apologies for that. But out in the water. I'm only sort of knee deep. It does drop off very quickly here, but it'll just enable me, hopefully, to get this rod out behind this float. Not quite. We'll perhaps break out the 17-foot connoisseur if we need to. We'll see how it goes. I can certainly hold that back on this crease. Wow, this is not going great. Probably been 20 minutes, perhaps half an hour trotting since we got back. Oh yeah, something's jumping out. And I've not had a sniff. I'm doing a much better job of presenting. Perhaps that's the problem. Yeah, very strange. I cannot buy a bite at the moment. As I say, I've never been to this stretch before. Nick tells me it's quite unusual for it to be this patchy. I've tried holding back really hard. I've tried letting it run through. It's very weird. And I'm not even sort of talking barbel, I'm talking chub. Really, it's very, very patchy. So, I've had a little bit of a break. The canoes have started, as you can see, and here I'm short. I'm just hoping we can do something. It's been very quiet. Maybe the canoes will stir things up a bit. Get the fish moving, who knows? Because it's, yeah, it's quiet. Nick's back on the ledger. He's having a few little chub. I really don't fancy doing any ledgering today, to be honest. That felt like a bite. It was. God, it's a long way down. Blimey. Nearly run all the line off the spool. Right at the bottom of the run. Well, it looks like giving the swim a rest has done it some good. I'm sure it's a chub. It's a very welcome chub. God, blimey. Must be a reasonable one, I think. It certainly is. Come on. Got him. Cracking. Well, another clonker. Certainly very empty. I'm sure they have spawned. This looks like a very empty female. She goes. Something's leaping out. Well, a bit of cloud cover come over. Perhaps that's what is needed. Can but hope. Just feed in a few lumps of meat as well, just to get some bait through. Mix in again. Yeah, all of a sudden, getting some bites. Perhaps those canoes going through have stirred things up as well. Really does help sometimes on the Y, I find. The fish are playing hard to get. A few canoes going through disturbs them a bit, gets them moving, and they think, oh, bit of food. That's a bite. I felt that go round. Blimey. Wow. Look at that rod. Certainly seem to be, certainly seem to be some fish holding down there now. Just feeding it through. I just felt it thump. I say, if we keep catching down there, we'll have a move. But it may be that we can draw them up. Hopefully. Got him. Well, there we are. It's about that. Wonderful stuff. We're having a few now. That's great. Go on, off you go. Just tried trickling a few bits of meat in. I wonder if that's making a bit of a difference. It doesn't sink very quickly. That would explain why it's a long way down as well. I'm getting these bites, but you never know. Well, it would appear Nick's into a barbel. I think it must be a barbel. He's ledgering, so he's got decent gear on, and he's still playing it. So I think it probably is. That is good news. I've just been round to see Nick's barbel. Absolute cracker. He gave it away. Thought it might be a PB. His PB was nine something, and it certainly was £10.3. I should try and get a picture of him and stick it up. I didn't drag the camera around there because it's a bit treacherous, to be honest. What I've done when I've been out of the water is I've grabbed my connoisseur 17-foot rod to make life a little bit easier. It's got a bit more line on it as well, on the spool, so we can run a bit further. We'll go a bit shallower. We'll run this through a bit further down the swim. Pretty much exactly the same setup, aside from a heavier stick float. 8 gram mega stick, Dave Harrell mega stick. 8 grams, so it's going to ride the water lovely. It's undershotted by a gram as well, so it'll ride the flow better. This choppy water. That's a bite. There we go. That didn't take long, did it? Thump, thump, thump. This is a chub. None of these chub are doing the usual trick of trying to get in the edge, though, strangely enough. A lot of the time when you hook a chub, they tear for the inside. These are not. Oh, beautiful brassy fella. Middle of the top lip. Wonderful. Cracking. Now, that's a wonderful way to christen this rod. Oh, got a bit of a wound on the side there. A few spawning marks by the looks of it. Not really again. I thought it was the bottom. Well, we've got to go now. Certainly got him going. Let's keep this meat going through the swim. It's definitely picking up. Always have a last minute charge off when you're committed to the landing net. Got him. Hook's dropped out in the net. Result, that's a cracker. Another lovely fish. All looking slightly worse for wear this time of year. Looks like they've spawned, which is good, obviously. That's what the close season's for. Right, I've had a bit of a sort out. Sorted out the Tournament Pro, so we can run a bit further down. I've put some more line on here. Back using this again. It's a little bit shorter, obviously, than the Connoisseur, but being that it's a bit shorter, it's a bit lighter as well, or quite a bit lighter. So much nicer to use. It's early afternoon now. I did that whilst sort of having something to eat. So just hoping we can have some more fish this afternoon. It's been sporadic, really. It's almost like there's fish sort of moving about. You sort of have bite or two or three, then it all goes quiet again for like an hour. It's very strange. I've had a quick walk around as well. There's nothing that sort of appeals more than where we are now, really. Obviously where Nick is above is a great spot. That fast water, but I really do fancy a day's trotting today. I say I've got my ledger rod, but it's in the car. I'm not intending on using it, so he has kindly said, you know, come in there if you sort of share that with him if I want. But you know, I really do fancy some trotting. Ooh, that was a bite. That was a bite. Missed that one. Thump thump. Oh, the disco boat's coming. There we go. See, canoes just don't bother the fish at all. They bother the people, not the fish. Feels like half decent fish, this does. I'm sure it's a chub. We're having a few now. Resting the swim has done it good, I think. Oh, we're in the tree. Come on, in you come. Look at that lovely fish. All much of a muchness, all about around the £3 mark, something like that. There we are. It's full of luncheon meat. Coughing it all up in that. That's about that. Another cracker. Wonderful. So easy releasing fish as well when you stood in the water. Get them back nice and quick. Especially important this time of year. Loving this, absolutely loving it. It's been hard at times. I say I've gone literally for an hour on several occasions without even getting a bite. And then you'll get, like we are at the moment, you'll get 3 or 4 bites in 3 or 4 runs through. Then all of a sudden it'll stop again for an hour. I'm sure it doesn't help putting these fish back, but not a great fan of using keep nets. And the distance we've walked, I wouldn't have carried a keep net this far anyway, to be honest. But on the Wynusks today, no keep nets allowed. Ooh, certainly getting some bites down there. Very snatchy bites, sort of reminiscent of small barbel. There we go. Oh, and again, really snatchy bites. Shallowed up quite a lot, a couple of foot from where I was before. I think they're kind of after this meat, but they kind of know it's a bit dangerous as well. They're just snatching at it. There we go. Oh, oh, they're playing games now. Gloves are off. They're really, really playing games. I suspect they've been here all along, these fish. They're just getting a bit cute. There we go. Oh, this is just holding station. I'm sure it's a chub, it's thumping away, as chub do. Well, it's took us half a day, or an entire morning, but we've got this swim going now, I think. I don't want to speak too soon. This fish is certainly trudging. Does feel like a reasonable fish. Wonderful. Well, we're having a few now. We're having a few. That's a nice fish, actually. Very nice fish. Looks dropped out in the net. Wonderful. There we are. It's about that. Cracking fish. He's a male, covered in tubercles. Right. Another little break. Keep hydrated. Keep drinking. It's very warm and the wind is really ripping. Right, let's see what we can do. These snatchy bites. Oh, there we go, there's another one. Oh, God, blimey. They're really on it now. Very quick snatchy bites. I'm sure they're just, let's say, just snatching at it. They want it, but they know it's a bit risky. There we go, look. It's that one. There we go. Wonderful. Just feeding it through, then bang, over it goes. Oh, come off. Oh dear. Dropped off. Right, let's try that again. That was cracking, apart from it dropping off. Was a chub though. Most definitely. Would help if I could get out a little bit further, like always. There we go. It's certainly up here now. Got him up in this this gully. Waiting on this meat. Another one. Wonderful. Love it the way they're just snatching it and just almost pulling the rod out of my hands. Oh, need me the other net. The one with the floats on. Certainly waiting for him now. Got the feed going in. Oh, what's this? This is doing a bit of a barbel thing, but it doesn't feel like a barbel. Sort of trudging up the middle of the river. But it does feel like a chub. That's frustrating. Because it was acting a bit barbly, that wasn't it? Although it did feel like a chub, so I'm gonna think to myself it was a chub. But it dropped off. We'll never know. There we go. Oh, missed line again. We're connected though. Oh, hello. Hello, he's off. Keep missing the line with my finger. I think I've got finger fatigue. I'm just trying to strike, I'm just missing the line. This is wonderful fishing now. Just inching it through and just grabbing the bait and hooking themselves against the rod top. Again, I'm sure it's a chub, but it feels a good one. Got it. Oh, that's a decent fish. That's why he pulled back. Oh, how's about that? Well, I can only just about pick them up with one hand. No, they're a decent fish. I'm keeping the pellets and hemp going in, just we've got something on the bottom. I'm sort of fishing over the top of it. Basically all I'm doing is just trapping the line with my finger and just feeding the rod tip through. And just let go, bring the rod tip back. And that's how I'm holding the float back quite hard. I keep missing the line with my finger. My hands are getting tired, I think. Well, there you go, it's just literally a bite every run through. I just keep missing the line, or it keeps slipping off the end of my finger. I think my fingers are so greasy from this meat and the hemp, so oily. Feels a decent one. Right, he's scrapping. The size of his mouth is a decent one. Got him. Oh yeah, he's a nice one. God, I think that's possibly my biggest of the day. I'll have a quick look at him. We'll try with one hand. So let's stick the net down. He's over the water, so if he does decide to clear off, he can go. That's about that. Hopefully you can see what's going on. It's very backlighty here again. It's very bright on the other bank. So apologies if it's less than ideal, which I'm sure it is. I'll do what I can with the footage. It's nice having this bit of a facer. It's just checking the float, checking the line nicely, and of course close face reels come into their own in the wind. Oh, mugged me. Oh. This is so frustrating. Absolutely mugging me off. It's so nice to get some bites though, after a rather slow morning. We caught in patches, but it was, yeah, just that, patchy. Anywhere from there really. Hopefully you can see the float. Just holding it back. That was a pull. Some of these bites are just so rapid, unless the fish hooks itself. There's no way you can strike at it. By the time it's registered that it's a bite, it's stopped. I think they're just literally grabbing the meat and clearing off. Just bang, gone. They keep a nice tight line between the the rod tip and the bait. Then when they'll hook themselves against the rod tip, hopefully. Yeah. Feels a bit heavier. There's the head shakes. Like I say, we've really had to work at this today. It's probably about 3 o'clock now, but we've managed to work it to be literally a bite of chuck. Oh, another cracking fish. In you get. Wonderful. There we go, another cracking fish. Absolutely wonderful. Fighting fit. Right, that is it for now. I'm going to rest this up. I'm going to keep the bait going in, rest it for a few minutes. I'm going to fish it to death in the hope that we can continue catching. See if Nick wants to come and have a trot in here, but he hasn't got his waders on, so he might struggle. There we go. Oh, it's off. Bye bye.
Oh, what have you got there?
Hey, lovely chubly.
What is it?
Chub.
Got what?
Chub.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, this is utterly epic fishing now. It's crazy. So, a bit of an apology for looking at the same bit of river all day, but yeah, this gully did look good, this little gully, and certainly proven to be. No barbel yet, but you never know. As I say, I'm not breaking my neck to catch a barbel. I might get in a few days to the Y, to a more familiar stretch. So I'm pretty sure, he says cockily, I'm pretty sure we'll catch them that day. So, if I can get out of the tree. Just one branch in the way. So yeah, I'm not breaking my neck to catch one today. But like I say, I certainly wouldn't say no. That's all right. And again. And again. Oh, 3 bites in that just short distance. Bite. This is crazy. Bite. Got you that time, didn't I? Got him. This is cracking. I hope you can see some of these bites on the camera. It's not the best at distance. Well, relative distance. Most of these fish are male that we're catching. You can see them milting away, which is them, how can we put it, getting a little bit excited. just sat in this gully now, just waiting on bits of meat. I'm just chucking a piece in about every minute or two. There we go, that's a bite. And that, a little tap. 3 bites in that, just that short distance. There we go. It's just crazy. They're under my feet practically. Oh, look, another decent fish. Well, this is putting up a decent scrap, but still no whiskered ones. Well, they're just not getting a look in, to be honest. Just not getting a look in at all. Double hook up. There we go. That's about that. That's another cracking fish. I can only just about hold with one hand. Right, let's have a little bit of a rest. Let's have another crack, see what we can do. We had perhaps 15 minutes off, resting it up. See if we can sneak a few more chub out. It's getting on for 6 o'clock now, so we haven't got too much longer left. We can fish till an hour after dark, but obviously I'm not going to fish an hour after dark, or after sunset I should say. I'm not going to do that fishing the float obviously, so I shall be gone before that. Certainly had a lovely day at it. There we go. Look at that first run through. Blimey. A bit further down that we're in. Fantastic. Well, the rest has certainly worked. This one's pulling back as well. Really scrapping today. Absolutely fantastic. It was a decent fish. Wonderful. This is absolutely cracking. God, he's a cracking fish. I'll grab hold of him. I'll try anyway. Come on, turn around. There we go. God, look at that. That's a lump. Absolute lump. God, I just nicked him. Ooh, rod's gone in. Never mind. Cracking. Back you go. Wonderful. There we go. 2 for 2. It's off. Ah. It fell off. There we go. Kiting in. Gotta be a chub. God, it's the first one that's gone right in the margins. Blimey. Come on. Oh, it's a nice fish. Come on. God, it's a cracker. What a fish. Yeah, a bit too big to pick up with one hand. How about that? Wonderful. Wonderful stuff. All right, back you go, chap. Cracking. Well, certainly hasn't disappointed today. The why? Wow. There we go. A couple of misses, and then we got one. Well, we've hooked one, we ain't got him. Hopefully we'll get him in a minute. Ooh. God, this feels like another good fish. Wow. No, he's not. He was fooling me. Caught and just nicked him as well. Are we going to get him in? Looks like we are. Just about. Cracking. Yeah, he felt like a much bigger fish. There we go. Go on, off you go. There we are. God, it's scrap. Really scrap. God, in this flow, blimey. Well, it's not fishing like it was for the last few hours, but it's certainly fishing well. Another cracking fish. Absolutely wonderful. There we go. Back you go, chap. Mugged me. Oh. we go. Ooh. That first surge, so powerful. Absolutely wonderful fishing down here on the Y. Absolutely wonderful. Again, no monster, but a cracking fish. Bit of meat hanging out of his mouth. That fooled you, didn't it? Cracking. Someone's attacking me. There we go. Wonderful. Well, this is absolutely wonderful fishing. And I keep saying it, but it was a bit sleepy this morning. This afternoon, it's gone epic. We're just missing a whiskered one. But yeah, I'm not overly desperate to catch one. I'd love to, of course, but quite happy to leave that till I'm down here next. I'm sure they're down there. Seem to be ignoring this meat at the moment though. I mean, Nick, who I'm with, has done quite a lot of ledgering today, and he's just had one barbel. So I think that shows you how little they're interested. They may be off somewhere spawning, who knows. It's about 7 o'clock now. I'm not going to give it too much longer, I don't think. Absolutely shattered. Get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get down here at this sort of time. What time I got here? Well, just gone 5. Oh, it's a cracking fish. Look at the size of that. Yes, it's 3 o'clock out of bed. Not 3 o'clock start, but at 3 o'clock out of bed to get down here for dawn. As I say, back in a few days, so you know, possibly going home at a silly time when you know it's coming up to barbel o'clock. But they've been conspicuous by their absence today, so we'll get after them next time. Next time out on a more familiar stretch. As I say, I think it speaks volumes that Nick's only had one all day, and he's been doing quite a lot of ledgering and rolling meat. Alright, there we go. It's like watching a quiver tip. Ooh, he's off. Very lively, these chub. Very lively. God, I see a thing. Wonderful. I think that's a nice fish to end on. That's absolutely fantastic. Gurgling away. He's troughed our meat. There we go. Yeah, we'll finish on him. Fantastic. Off you go. What a session. As I say, it was hard going this morning. Really, really hard going. But this afternoon, it's just been epic. As epic as the Y ever can be. In the absence of barbel, that is. It's, yeah. I mean, I dread to think how many chub I've caught. And to be honest, I would have a count up during the editing, but it'll just take me so long. Perhaps I will. Perhaps I'll stick a number up there and you can have a look at how many chub I caught today. It's been ridiculous. And they haven't just been little chublets, they've been chub as well. I've had probably half a dozen around £1, and the rest have been between sort of 2.5 and £4. So if you fancy doing a bit of that yourself, get on down here, get on down to the Y. It's cracking, it's absolutely wonderful. There's all the Winus tickets to go at. There's the Hereford tickets as well. They do day tickets. I'm not sure about Ross. Plenty of water to go at, lots of day ticket water. So yeah, get yourself down here. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, as I've been mentioning during the video, I'm out again in a few days on a more familiar stretch. I'm hoping we can have some barbel on the float that day. But that's for next time. For now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your wonderful support. And I'll see you again very soon.